4% cuts coming to most state agencies in the next fiscal year as a big pay raise is scheduled to go into effect for lawmakers come November. 2 Works for You's Aaron Conrad talked with lawmakers about the budget and the perceptions surrounding their pay raise.
While lawmaker salaries are not decided here on the Senate floor, the idea that state legislators will get a 35% salary increase come November isn't sitting well with voters. The budget approved this week by lawmakers makes cuts to nearly all state agencies amid a massive budget shortfall due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. At the state capitol Thursday, we spoke to Owasso State Senator Nathan Dahm, one of the few Republicans who voted against the budget.
We should be looking at how we're spending the taxpayer money. We should be focusing on reforms. Haven't seen a whole lot of those reforms that I'd like to see being accomplished rather than just focusing on spending the money, which is kind of seemed to be the focus.
Catoosa Representative and House Majority Whip Terry O'Donnell voted in favor of the funding measure.
This budget is really artwork because we've done everything we can to protect our priorities, which are clearly common education and education as a whole in this state. So I felt like we had done a really good job pulling money back to education, protecting that area, and making some very modest cuts in other parts of the state agencies.
The white elephant in the room during talks about cuts and funding measures, a scheduled pay raise for lawmakers voted on last year by the Legislative Compensation Board.
The legislature has no control over the salary schedule. We don't set it. It's an independent board that does that. In the past, they've cut legislator salary. They've increased it last year, as you mentioned. So we don't have any control or input over that. A lot of people think that we actually do, but we don't have any involvement in that.
I think this is the first raise that the legislature has received in about 20 years. But as far as that goes, even if we were to pull that back, that doesn't necessarily mean that money would be available for other projects.
When we told you about that raise Wednesday, it sparked outrage on social media. Viewers on our Facebook page upset about lawmakers getting a raise, while many of them face financial hardships from the coronavirus outbreak. Scott Mitchell is on the Legislative Compensation Board. The panel is made up of citizens appointed by lawmakers. Mitchell voted on the pay raise last year.
The board was acting with the best data that you could possibly have, with no forethought as to we were about to see the worst pandemic in a century and the single most devastating economic occurrence in the last century. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. We probably would be doing something different at this point, but so would everybody else.
Mitchell says at the time, data showed legislators were not being paid at the level they should be, and he wants to remind taxpayers of this.
Nobody in this legislature got a raise. Not one. This legislative package only goes into effect for the next legislator.
The silver lining, Mitchell reminds voters that if they don't think their lawmakers deserve that next pay increase, to vote them out come November. In Oklahoma City, Aaron Conrad, 2 Works for You.